Chapter 2. Getting acquainted with the vehicle you will drive. Pre-driving checks. Forming good habits. Certain checks and procedures must become habits if a driver is to safely and efficiently operate a motor vehicle. The first habit you need to develop is preparing yourself, your vehicle, and your passengers for travel. Pre-driving checks. The pre-driving checks identified below should be performed every time you drive. Checks under the hood under normal driving conditions should be performed at least once a month, or as recommended in the owner's manual. Approaching the vehicle. Have your keys in hand before approaching your car or entering the parking area. If you have a keyless entry remote with a panic button, keep it in your hand with your finger poised above the activation button. Be alert to other pedestrians and drivers. Search for signs of movements between, beneath, and around objects to both sides of your vehicle. Make sure other drivers see you. Walk well away from parked vehicles. If parked at the curb, face traffic as you approach the driver's door. Outside the vehicle. Before entering, check around the vehicle for obstacles that might interfere with safe movement of the vehicle. Check the driveway, parking area, or street for children or other pedestrians. Several hundred children are killed annually by backing vehicles. Inspect the headlights, brake lights, turn signals, and tail lights, windshield and side and rear mirrors, windows. Clean if necessary and replace any bulbs or lenses that are not working or are broken. Visually inspect your tires for obvious signs of a problem and notice which way the front wheels are pointed. Be sure to check your tire pressures at least once each month, as visual inspection alone may not reveal an improperly inflated tire. Check under the vehicle for fluid leaks. Look inside the vehicle before entering, especially the back seat, to enhance your safety and protect yourself against carjacking and other dangers. Under the hood, you should recognize the following. Under the hood, number one, engine coolant reservoir or radiator fluid. Two is windshield washer fluid reservoir. Three, power steering fluid reservoir. Four, drive belts, tension and wear. Five, engine oil filler cap. Six, engine oil dipstick. Seven, transmission fluid dipstick or automatic transmission only. Eight, brake fluid reservoir. Nine, battery, clean and level charge. 10, air assembly. Consult your vehicle's owner's manual to verify what components under the hood should be inspected. Perform these checks at least once a month or as recommended in the owner's manual. Failure to conduct these checks can lead to unsafe operating conditions and costly repairs. Pre-driving sequence. It is important to develop a routine for preparing to drive. Key steps include 1. Place your key in the ignition. 2. Make sure all doors are closed tightly and locked. In addition to preventing unwanted persons from entering your vehicle, locked doors can help reduce the chance of occupants being ejected from the vehicle in the event of a crash. 3. Check windows, clean and or defrost as needed. 4. Check for packages or other objects that could block your view or strike an occupant in the event of a quick stop or crash. Secure loose objects in the trunk or use a cargo net, commonly found in SUVs. 5. Adjust the seat, steering wheel column, accelerator, brake pedals, if applicable, and head restraints. 6. Adjust the inside and outside mirrors. 7. Fasten and adjust safety belts and make sure all passengers fasten theirs. Number 8. Adjust air vents, windows, and or temperature control. Number 9. New drivers should avoid the distractions of the radio or auxiliary music system. Leave it off for now. Your instructor may suggest procedures slightly different from these. However, the important thing is to select a safe routine and then repeat the process until it becomes a habit. Ignition switch. This switch is on the right side of the steering column or, in some vehicles, on the dashboard. The switch locks the steering wheel and shifting lever and enables the vehicle to start and stop the engine. It can also be used to provide power to other convenience and safety systems. In some new vehicles, electronic chips in the ignition switch and key serve as anti-theft devices. Some newer vehicles also offer keyless or push-to-start ignition systems. Door locks. In vehicles equipped with manually operated locks, each door has its own locking device. In vehicles with electric door locks, each lock usually can be operated independently. And there is also a master control switch, often located on the driver's side armrest. Childproof rear door locks are generally an option on four-door vehicles. Adjusting the vehicle to your preferences. Seat adjustment controls. If manually controlled, the adjustment lever that allows the driver to move the seat forward or back is typically at the lower front side of the driver's seat. A second lever or knob, which adjusts the seat back angle, is generally at the left rear side of the driver's seat. In vehicles with electric power seats, the controls are usually on the lower left side of the driver's seat, or in a control cluster on the driver's armrest or door panel. Body position. The position of the driver's body relative to vehicle controls is critical. You, you should be seated in a comfortable, upright position, squarely behind the steering wheel. The seat should be positioned forward or back, up or down, so that you can easily operate the accelerator, brake, and clutch pedals without having to lift your heel from the floor. Sitting too close from the steering wheel interferes with steering, increases fatigue, and causes stress. In vehicles equipped with driver's side airbag, sitting closer than 10 inches from the steering wheel increases the chance of arm, neck, or facial injury in the event of an airbag deployment. You can determine proper distance from the steering wheel by extending your arm in front of you and adjusting the seat forward or back until the top of the steering wheel is in line with the palm of your hand. In many vehicles not equipped with adjustable pedals, drivers less than 5 feet 5 inches tall may need to use pedal extensions. The area around your car. From the driver's seat, there is a relatively large area immediately surrounding every vehicle that the driver cannot see. This space consists of the area between the vehicle and the nearest point where you can see the ground when seated behind the steering wheel. When properly seated, you should be able to see the ground within 12 to 15 feet to the front, 1 1/2 to 2 car widths to the right side, and 1/2 to 1 car width to the left side. The rear window and trunk design of some cars may restrict vision area to the rear. In some vehicles, the nearest visible ground point may be nearly 40 feet. To compensate for this, it is important to learn where the vehicle's unseen boundaries exist to help prevent collisions. Proper adjustments of the vehicle's features should help to maximize your view from inside the vehicle in all directions. Steering wheel adjustment. In many cases, in many vehicles, the angle of the steering wheel or the entire steering column can be changed by using a lever on the left or right side of the steering column. An adjustment lever on the underside of the steering column permits the driver to raise or lower the steering column for better steering wheel angle and height. In a number of newer model vehicles, the steering column is also telescopic, allowing the driver to adjust the distance between the steering wheel and the driver's chest. Steering wheel, hand, position, and grip. The position of your hands on the steering wheel will vary depending on the design of the steering wheel and the seat height and the length of your arms and legs. However, you should be able to adjust the seat so your left hand rests around 9 o'clock and your right hand rests at about 3 o'clock, as on the face of a clock. This positioning allows for optimum control when turning the steering wheel. Alternatively, some drivers may prefer a slightly lower hand position, closer to 8 and 4 o'clock, depending on the position of the steering wheel spokes and personal preference. This mid to low hand position will help drivers maintain symmetrical leverage on the steering wheel while minimizing the chance of injury in the event of airbag deployment. Drivers should strive to maintain both hands on the steering wheel at all times. Grip. You should grip the steering wheel with your arms bent at the elbows. Your grip should be gentle but firm. Grip the steering wheel by the outside of the rim using both hands. For better control and road feel, use your fingers instead of the palms of your hands and keep your thumbs up along the face of the steering wheel. Mirror setting and use. Adjusting the mirrors. Developing proper visual search habits requires proper positioning and use of mirrors both inside and outside the vehicle. Keep in mind that mirrors are intended for detection and not for gathering detailed information. The inside mirror. Adjust the inside mirror so that it covers the entire rear window. To use the inside rearview mirror, you should have to move only your eyes, not turn your head. Driver 6 feet tall or taller may find it helpful to rotate the mirror 180 degrees upside down if possible, so that the day-night switch is on the top of the mirror. This action usually raises the bottom edge of the mirror about 1 to 2 inches and can substantially reduce a major blind area to the front for tall drivers. Side view mirrors. Adjust side view mirrors to reduce side and rear quarter panel blind spots as much as necessary. Adjusting the driver's side mirror. Place your head against the left side window and set the mirror so that you can just barely see the side of the car in the right side of the mirror. Adjusting the passenger side window. Position your head so that it is centered under the inside rearview mirror or just above the center console. Set the mirror so you can just barely see the side of the car in the left side of the mirror. If the vehicle is not equipped with remote mirror adjustment controls, you may need assistance when adjusting the passenger side mirror. We will practice this in the car. Using the mirrors. Using these settings, the driver can observe what is directly behind the vehicle by using the inside mirror. By using the side mirrors, the driver can see directly into the spaces adjacent to each of the vehicle's rear corners as well. This enhanced visual contact should increase the driver's field of awareness, which can help detect the presence of other nearby roadway users. With these mirror settings, you will have almost seamless visual contact around your vehicle. For example, when being passed by a vehicle in the next lane to your left, you will see it progress from A, the rear view mirror, B, to the left side mirror, C, to your side vision. Number 1, vehicle first observed in the rear view mirror. Number 2, vehicle moving from rear view mirror to left side mirror. 3, vehicle in the left side mirror. 4, vehicle moving from left side mirror into peripheral vision. And 5, vehicle fully visible in peripheral vision. Remember, even properly adjusted mirrors will not eliminate all blind spots. You must make a final check to the sides before you make any lateral move. Turning your head to use the side mirrors should be limited to quick glances to detect the presence of objects and not to search for detailed information. This does not mean that you should not look over your shoulder to make critical time-space judgments when you move from a stopped position at the curb or merge onto an expressway. Occupant protection, safety restraints. Lap and shoulder belts, when properly adjusted, are among the most important safety features in a motor vehicle. Safety belts are designed to help slow occupants' rate of deceleration in a frontal collision. Safety belts also help keep vehicle occupants securely in place, with the driver firmly behind the steering wheel and in control in case of a collision or during an emergency maneuver. When worn properly, safety belts also provide added comfort, reduce fatigue, and help keep the driver more alert. Proper use. The safety belt provides maximum protection and comfort when you are sitting up straight with your back firmly against the back of the seat. The lap belt should fit snugly across your hips and not be allowed to ride up on your abdomen. After fastening the belt, make sure to take up any slack. Never use one belt for two people. Do not place the shoulder belt behind your back or under your arm. As a passenger, do not ride in the front seat with the back of the seat in a reclining position. In the event of a crash, your body could slide forward, increasing the chance of both neck and abdominal injury. Take a look at the picture. A properly installed infant seat is strapped into the back seat, facing the rear of the vehicle. This position offers the most protection for the infant in the event of a crash. Head restraints. Head restraints reduce the risk of neck injury due to whiplash from the impact of a rear end or frontal collision. If your vehicle is equipped with adjustable head restraints, make sure they are properly positioned. Normally, the top of the head restraint should be adjusted to a point slightly above your ears and, if possible, within 3 inches of the back of your head when you are seated in a normal upright position. To reduce the chance of injury, avoid leaning forward while you drive. Airbags. Airbags are designed to work in conjunction with safety belts and help absorb crash forces to minimize impacts to the body. Normally, airbags are located in the steering wheel and in the dashboard on the passenger side. Airbags may also be located over the side doors, under the dashboard, in the sides of the seat, and in the door panels. Drivers should be positioned 10 to 12 inches from the steering wheel, and passengers should be positioned 15 to 18 inches from the front passenger side airbag. Check the owner's manual for airbag safety information. When used with safety belts, airbags provide much greater protection against impact with the vehicle's interior structure. This is particularly important in a frontal crash, the most violent type of collision. Crash data shows that driver contact with the steering wheel column is a major cause of serious injury and death. Airbags provide a great deal of protection against impact with the vehicle's interior. Because their bones and muscles are not fully developed, children under 13 years of age are safest in the back seat. Never place a rear-facing infant seat in a front passenger seat protected by an airbag, unless the airbag has a shut-off switch. Frail, elderly passengers should ride with the passenger seat moved as far back as possible. Speed and directional inputs. Gear selector lever. In a vehicle with an automatic transmission, the gear selector lever is located either on the right side of the steering column or on a console between the front seats. In a vehicle with a manual shift transmission, the gear shift lever is generally on the center console or on the floor to the right of the driver. Using overdrive gear. The highest gear on most transmissions is an overdrive gear, designed to maximize fuel economy. Unless you are towing a trailer or carrying a heavy load, it is best to leave the transmission in overdrive gear on vehicles equipped with the automatic transmission. The transmission will automatically downshift as needed to, to maintain power as demanded by the driver. Accelerator pedal. This foot-operated pedal is mounted in the front right corner of the driver's footwell. Speed is controlled by the amount of pressure applied by the right foot. Brake pedal, located to the left of the accelerator pedal. The foot-operated pedal slows the vehicle when the driver applies pressure. How much and how rapidly the vehicle slows is determined by how much pressure the driver applies and the amount of friction between the tires and the road surface. Clutch pedal. In cars with manual transmissions, the foot-operated clutch pedal is located to the left side of the brake pedal. When depressed, the clutch pedal disengages the transmission drive gears so the driver can shift gears manually. We will talk more about clutch pedals and manual transmissions in Chapter 10. Parking brake. The purpose of the parking brake is to hold a parked vehicle in place. The parking brake may be a foot-operated pedal on the floor to the far left of the brake and clutch pedal, a hand-operated lever to the far left of the driver's seat, or a hand-operated lever on the right side of the steering column, or on the floor or center console. To set a foot-operated brake, push down firmly on the pedal. Depending on the vehicle, one of two methods is used to release the parking brake pedal. In some vehicles, you push down on the pedal until a click is heard, at which time the pedal automatically returns to its uppermost or released position. In other vehicles, the hand-actuated brake release lever may be above the foot pedal on the underside of the dash. To set a hand-operated floor or console-mounted parking brake, simply pull up or back firmly on the lever. To release the brake, grasp the lever firmly with your fingers and depress the button on the top of the lever with your thumb and then lower the lever. Cruise speed control. This device allows you to select and maintain a constant speed without having to keep your foot on the accelerator. The controls are, are either on the steering wheel or on a lever on the side of the steering column. The controls options are on, off, set, accelerate, and coast resume. Speed control can be canceled at any time by touching the off switch or by pressing the brake pedal. Although cruise control can be useful in maintaining a constant speed, drivers must learn to use the device properly and be alert to changes in the speed of other vehicles. Cruise control should not be used in heavy traffic or in rain, snow, icy, or other slick surface or reduced traction conditions. This will allow drivers to maintain maximum control over speed adjustments during these conditions. Check the owner's manual for instructions on using cruise control. Communication and visibility features. The horn. Pressing on the steering wheel in the middle or in the areas to the side of the airbag usually operates the horn. Turn signal lever. Located on the left side of the steering column, the turn signal lever is moved up to signal a movement to the right. It is moved down to indicate a movement to the left. While the signal usually will turn itself off after a right or left turn, the driver may have to manually cancel the signal after a slight turn, such as lane changes. Hazard flashers. The purpose of the hazard flashers is to warn other drivers of a problem or to increase awareness of the presence of a vehicle. The switch for the hazard lights is usually on the top or right side of the steering column or on the dash near the center. When operated, both front and rear turn signal lights flash. Windshield wipers and washers. The control switch for the windshield wipers and washer may be on the dashboard, on the turn signal lever, or on a separate lever arm on the right side of the steering column. Actually, two switches are involved. One controls wiper blade speed, and the other controls the washer fluid. Some vehicles also feature a wiper for the rear window. Headlights. The headlight switch also controls power to the parking lights, tail lights, side marker lights, and the license plate lights. The switch may be on the left side of the instrument panel, on the same lever as a turn indicator, or on a separate lever. In many vehicles, a separate switch controls the dome light and dashboard light intensity. High-low headlight switch. This switch is typically mounted on the left side of the steering column and often the same as the turn signal lever. It is operated by moving a lever forward or backward to switch from high to low beam headlights. On some pickup trucks and older cars, the switch is mounted on the floor beneath the parking brake and is operated by pressing the switch with the left foot. Additional features: heater, defroster, and air conditioner. The controls for these devices are in a cluster on the instrument panel. Some vehicles have separate controls on the instrument panel that operate these features in the rear of the vehicle. Hood release. The lever to release the hood is usually on the left side of the driver's compartment under the instrument panel. In some vehicles, it is under or just to the right of the steering column. A second latch located in the grille or under the front edge of the hood is designed to prevent the hood from opening when the vehicle is in motion and must also be operated to open the hood. Trunk or hatch release. On many vehicles, the release may be a lever on the floor just to the left or right side of the driver's seat. It could also be located on the driver's door or in the center console. In other vehicles, the release mechanism is a button in the glove box. Fuel door release. To prevent theft of fuel and protect against anyone putting damaging substances in the fuel tank, many vehicles are equipped with a fuel door security system. The release button or lever may be on the floor to the left of the driver's seat, in the center console, or in the glove box. It could also be located on the driver's door panel. The instrument panel. Gauges and lights. The gauges and lights on your vehicle's instrument panel provide important information about the vehicle's safety and operational condition. Although gauges and indicator lights are not in the same location on all vehicles, their functions are the same. Become familiar with your vehicle's instrument panel before you drive your vehicle. Read your owner's manual if you are unsure of the location or proper use of any of your vehicle's controls or instrumentation. Make it a habit to glance at the dashboard occasionally as you drive to ensure all systems are functioning properly. Develop the habit of quickly glancing at the gauges instead of staring at them. The dashboard. Look at the picture of the dashboard on the next page. Items on the dashboard are identified by a number designation. Using the owner's manual for your family's or friend's vehicle, compare the presence and location with that shown. Test yourself by describing the purpose of each. And here's the picture they were talking about. We'll come back to that in a second. Other devices. As with the instrument cluster, become familiar with the location and operation of devices such as the radio, window controls, air conditioner, headlight dimmer switch, and turn indicator switch. Practice using the instruments and controls while the vehicle is parked so you can locate, reach, and use them without having to search and take your eyes off the road ahead for more than a few seconds at a time. Take a look at this picture. You should know the fuel gauge, location of the fuel door, low fuel indicator, tachometer, anti-lock brake system, check engine light, battery voltage warning light, gear selection indicator, automatic transmission indicator light, left turn indicator, right turn indicator, hazard lights, flashers, oil pressure gauge, theft security system on light, headlight high beam indicator, airbag function light, safety belt indicator, door ajar warning light, odometer, trip odometer, speedometer, parking brake indicator, trip odometer reset button, engine temperature gauge, and instrument panel light dimmer.